Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. Hamidun, adhabta ila al-Kuwaiti ya Muhammadu. Did you go to Kuwait, O Muhammad? Now please notice over here that as we know, is used to ask a question, Hamzatul Istifham. And dhahabta is the past tense, which is used for the second person singular. That means basically anta dhahabta. If you look at the translation, it says, did you go to Kuwait? So basically it is anta dhahabta, as we know that in every verb we have a doer inside it. So the ending is very important. When you say dhahabta, that means you went. Dhahabta means you went. And this is for the singular masculine. Inshallah, we will learn about the singular feminine, but as of now, we will focus on singular masculine. Adhabta ila al-Kuwaiti ya Muhammadu. Did you go to Kuwait, O Muhammad? Similarly, we have learned the verb like jalasa. So what will be the past tense of jalasa? It will be jalasta. And what will be for raja'a? It will be raja'ata. We have learned dhahaba, jalasa, and raja'a. So you can memorize now that on the pattern of dhahabta, it will be you went. And similarly, you can say jalasta, you sat, and raja'ata, you returned. Muhammadun, na'am, yes, dhahabtu, yes, I went. Now, let's see over here that when we have the dhamma over here, and that means I went. And this is for both, for singular masculine and for singular feminine. If it's for Aisha, she will also say the same thing, na'am dhahabtu, and there is a small typo over here, yeah, because ba is sakin, so it will be na'am dhahabtu, yes, I went. So now, if you say dhahabta, that means you went, and dhahabtu means I went. Now, if you want to say I sat, so what will you say? Jalasa is the past tense, so from jalasa, what will you say? Jalastu, right? I sat. And similarly, raja, we have learned raja, that means he returned. And you want to say I returned. So what will you say? Raja'atu. Raja'atu, excellent. So like this now we can practice that every verb that you are learning now, try to practice the past tense. And similarly, try to practice the past tense for I went, and similarly the practice for you went. So dhahabta, you went, and dhahabtu, I went. Hamidun wa zamiluka aina abuhu. And your classmate, where is his father? And as we know that in this lesson, we are focusing on the attached pronouns. So it was basically zamilu plus ka, your, as we can see on the translation, and your classmate, aina abuhu, where is his father? So as we know that it was basically abun, and when we use abun with the attached pronoun, it becomes abu, and then we will have aina abuhu, where is his father? Muhammadan abuhu fil yabani. His father is in Japan. Huwa tajirun kabirun. He is a big merchant. So we can see over here that these are simple sentences. You already know them. Abuhu will be the subject, and fil yabani will be a predicate. Similarly, huwa will be the subject, and tajirun will be the predicate. Tajirun is predicate. And then we have the sifa of the tajirun, that is kabirun. So please don't forget that. Yeah, this is not, or we say sifa. So tajirun will be masuf, or we say man'ud, and kabirun will be sifa, or we say not. Okay. Hamidun, Hamidun, alaka akhun ya Muhammadu. Do you have a brother, or Muhammad? Now we know that the preposition li is very important. We know that it is used for possession. For example, we have learned li plus lafdh al-jalala, it becomes lillahi. But now let's notice there is a small change that has taken place over here. Did you notice the change that has taken place over here? Li has changed into la. So the rule is when preposition li is used with the attached pronouns, it changes to la. So hu becomes lahu, and ha becomes laha, and ka becomes laka. And we know that when we have li, then no change will take place, because we know that that kasra is compatible with ya, so no change will take place. It will be li. But when you use it with the other attached pronouns, then it changes, the kasra changes into fatha, as we can see over here. So Hamidun, alaka akhun ya Muhammadu. Do you have a brother, O Muhammad? One more thing we need to know over here, number two, about li, that the preposition li is used with relations, and also it is used with the body parts. It is used with what? It is used with relations, and it is used with the body parts. For example, you say, I have a brother, you say, li akhun. And similarly, you say, li anfun wa famun, I have a nose and a mouth. So we cannot use inda with the blood relations or things that cannot be separated, things that are inseparable. With the things that cannot be separated, we use li, and we cannot use inda. So we cannot say indi akhun, amiya, or you can say informal Arabic. Yes, people say that indi akhun, I have a brother. But in the real proper or fusha, we will say li akhun, I have a brother. And similarly, when you say li anfun wa famun, similarly, we can see that I have a nose and a mouth. And now you can see that what will be the subject and what will be the predicate. Now, akhun will be the subject and li will be predicate, because we know that jar majroor cannot be subject. That's number one. Number two, now you can see that there is a possibility that nakira, or a common noun or indefinite noun, can also be subject. And in what condition it can be subject? When we have jar majroor before this, prepositional phrase before this. And in the Quran, it is very common that most of the times after a prepositional phrase, after jar majroor, you will see that there is a indefinite noun. For example, fi qulubihim maradun, fi jidiha hablum min masad. So whenever you see in the Quran, most of the times after jar majroor, you will see that there is a indefinite noun, as we can see over here. So two things we need to remember about the preposition li. Number one, when we use it with the attached pronouns, it changes into la, it changes into fatha. And number two, we use it for the relationships or the relations. And number two, we use it for the body parts. Muhammadun, Muhammad. Naam, yes. Li akhun wahidun. Yes, I have one brother. Also, if you see over here, akhun, and there is the na'at of akhun, or the sifa of akhun, that is wahidun. If you say li akhun, the meaning is clear. I have a brother. But if you want to make it emphatic for the purpose of emphasis, you can also say li akhun wahidun, I have a brother. In English, the translation will be the same, but in Arabic, it becomes stronger. So when you say li akhun, I have a brother, but when you say li akhun wahidun, I have a brother, but it is more powerful than li akhun. Ismahu Usamatu, his name is Osama, and we know that the masculine names that end with ta marbuta, they do not accept tanween. His name is Osama. Wahuwa ma'i huna fil Madinah al Munawwarati, and he is with me here in Medina Munawwara. We know ma, and after that we have ya al mutakallim, so it becomes ma'i. Wahuwa ma'i huna, here, fil Madinah al Munawwarati, in Medina Munawwara. Wali ukhtun wahidatun, and I have a sister. Now, as we discussed, that wahidun and wahidatun are used as adjectives. They are used as adjectives. So that's why, or all the numbers, please remember that all the numbers in Arabic, they are adjectives. So what is the sifa of akhun? Akhun wahidun. And what is the sifa of ukhtun? Ukhtun wahidatun. And why is that? You remember why we have akhun wahidun and why we have ukhtun wahidatun? Because mawsuf and sifa must be equal in 4 properties of the noun. I'm sure you remember that. Ismuha Zainabu, her name is Zainab. And we know that the feminine names, especially feminine Arabic names, they are also mamnu min as-sarf. That means they do not accept tanween. Ismuha Zainabu, her name is Zainab. Wahiya fil Iraqi, and she is in Iraq. Ma'a zawjiha, with her husband. Ma means with, and it is used as special mudaf, like inda, like khalfa, like amama, and like tahta. We have the 5th one here, we have ma, which is also used as special mudaf, and it is a dharf. It's not a preposition, it's a dharf. Ma zawjiha, with her husband. So now we can see that after ma, zawj has kasra, and why it has kasra? Because it is mudaf, and ha is mudaf ilayh. We know that all the attached pronouns, they are used as mudaf ilayh. Zawj will be mudaf and ha will be mudaf ilayh. Zawjuha muhandisun. Her husband is an engineer. So zawjuha is mudaf ilayh plus subject, and muhandisun is predicate. It's a khabar. Her husband is an engineer. So now, please focus on all the attached pronouns. For example, his, and similarly we have me, and similarly we have her, and again we have her, and again we have her. And we know that for masculine, singular masculine, we use who, and for singular feminine, we use ha, as we can see in the lesson, and also, inshallah, we will see in the exercises. Now, two more adverbs for you. Huna means here, and hunaka means there. These are adverbs, and these are adverbs of place. So when you talk about something here, for example, وَهُوَ مَعِيَ هُنَا فِي الْمَدِينَةِ الْمُنَوَّرَةِ, so he is here with me in Medina Munawwara. And if you want to use there, we will say hunak or hunaka, as we can see over here. So these are two adverbs that we need to note down. But please remember that these adverbs are not used as special mudaf. They will be used as predicate. As we know that dharf and a preposition, they cannot be subject. They are always used as predicate. Hamidun, a'indaka siyaratun ya akhi. Now we can see over here that we are talking about siyaratun, that means a car, right? So for things, what do we use? For things, we use inda. Do you have a car, oh my brother? So when you talk about things, we will use inda. And we talk about the body parts, and we talk about the relationships, we use li, the preposition li. So that is the difference between li and inda. Indaka sayyaratun ya akhi, do you have a car, oh brother? Muhammadun, la, ma indi sayyaratun. No, I don't have a car. Now, ma, as we can see over here, is used for negation. I don't have a car, so ma indi sayyaratun. What is the difference now between ma and nafiya? Excellent. So la and ma, what is the difference between these two? La is an answer to the question. So that's why we have harf al-istifham over here, or hamzat al-istifham over here. Indaka sayyaratun ya akhi. So if your answer is na'am, you will say yes, na'am. And if your answer is no, you will say la. And when you want to say I don't have a car, then you will say ma indi sayyaratun, I don't have a car. Indi darrajatun, I have a bicycle. Hamzatu indahu sayyaratun, Hamza has a car. So now we can see over here that if you look at the difference over here between li and inda, so as we have discussed, that li is used for the body parts and the relations. For example, liyakhun, and inda is used with the things. For example, indi sayyaratun jadidatun, I have a new car. So that is the difference between li and inda that we need to note down. Also, it's basically inda, as we know, that ends with fatha, but we know that ya has a special requirement, and that is that it accepts kasra before this. So that's why inda changes into indi. These are the small details that we need to note. As we can see over here, that most of the times, or all the times, we use it as inda, but when we use it with the ya, or we call it ya al-mutakallim, then it becomes indi sayyaratun jadidatun. So that's the only thing that you need to notice over here. Small changes, but we need to pay very close attention to these changes. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, I think in the previous lesson, that there are around 10 types of ma that have been used in the Quran. And alhamdulillah, we have already learned 2 of them, as we can see over here. We have learned ma al-istifhamiyya, which is basically used to ask a question. And we started this with our Arabic journey. We started with this one, Masmuka, what is your name? And today we have learned ma an-nafiya, where we say ma indi sayyaratun, I don't have a car. And now your job is to please take your notes and make a list of the things that we are discussing in the lesson. So whenever you review your lesson, you can remember this information. So especially the types of ma, especially the types of preposition li, because preposition li also has different types. And similarly, all the other information that is important, you can make your own diary and you can note it down. Now we have tamarinu. Why did I put mafa'ilu over here? Yes, please tell me quickly. Why did I put mafa'ilu over here? What's the reason for putting mafa'ilu? To indicate that tamarinu is on the wazn of mafa'ilu. Excellent. And is there anything special about it? Anything special about it? It is mamnu min as-sarf. Yeah, it does not accept tanween. So any word that comes on the pattern of mafa'ilu, for example, in the Quran we have mafatihu. Similarly, we have in the Quran maqalidu. Similarly, in the Quran we have tamathilu. So any word that you will see in the Quran on the pattern of mafa'ilu, it will be mamnu min as-sarf. It will be indeclinable. That means it will not accept tanween. It will only take dhamma or it will take fatha. So that's why it's very, very important. So alhamdulillah, you have learned a lot of things about the nouns that are mamnu min as-sarf, and now we are learning the patterns. Patterns are very, very important. So this pattern, inshallah, I'm sure now you know it. And with the passage of time, we will learn the rest of the patterns as well. Ajib anil as'ilatil atiyati. Answer the following question. As'ila is the plural of what? I told you earlier. So do you remember? As'ila is the plural of su'alun. Su'alun means a question, and the plural is as'ilatun. And then we have jawabun. And what is the plural of jawabun? Ajwibatun. So as'ilatun, ajwibatun. Similar in the Quran, we have lisanun and alsinatun. So this pattern is also very important. And try to memorize this pattern, which is on the pattern of af'ilatun. So any word that comes on the pattern of af'ilatun, that will be basically plural of, for example, su'alun and as'ilatun, jawabun and ajwibatun. And similarly, we have lisanun and alsinatun. Okay, now this exercise is basically about you. So what you have to do now, inshallah, on your books or your notebooks, you have to write down the answers to all of these questions. I have the answers over here, but what you have to do, you have to write the information that is correct for you. For example, masmuka, so you will write your name. For example, ismi Yasirun, ismi Muhammadun, ismi Zainabu, ismi Fatimatu. So whatever your name is, you have to make sure that you write your own name. So you say ismi Yasirun, for example. Min aina anta. So here Yasir says ana min al-Yamani. I am from Yemen, but you can write the name of your own country. Ana min al-Hindi, ana min America, ana min Pakistan, whatever the name of your country is. And please remember that the names of the countries are mamnu min as-sarf. Unless they have al. We know that if a noun has al, then it will accept kasra. Then it can take kasra. But names of the countries and the names of the cities are mamnu min as-sarf. Ma lughatuka, what is your language? So you can say lughati al-arabiyatu, arabiyatu, my language is Arabic. Lughati al-injiliziyatu, lughati al-urdiyatu, hispaniyatu, whatever language you speak, you can write the name of the language over there. Aina abuka, so now you can write about your father, where your father is. And for example, abi fil Yemeni and abi fil amali, if your father is at work. And wherever your father is, you can write about your father. Aina ummuka, where is your mother? And you say ummi aidan fil Yemeni. My mother is also in Yemen. So aidan means also. My mother is also in Yemen. Alaka akhun, do you have a brother? Naam, li akhun wahidun. Yes, I have a brother. Alaka ukhtun, do you have a sister? And when you say I have one sister, you will say and naam li ukhtun wahidatun. In case we have this answer, so you say naam li ukhtun wahidatun. Indaka sayyaratun, do you have a car? If your answer is yes, you say naam indi sayyaratun. And if your answer is no, then you will say la ma indi sayyaratun. Then you have to add ma to that because this is for negation. So you say la. La is basically the answer to a. So you say no. And then, for example, even in English, you say no, I don't have a car. And similarly, in Arabic, we say la ما عندي سيارة. No, I don't have a car. عندك دراجة. Do you have a bicycle? And you say نعم عندي دراجة. Yes, I have a bicycle. عندك قلم. Do you have a pen? نعم عندي قلم. Yes, I have a pen. Can I say نعم لي قلم? Can I use لي over here? Is it possible to use it? لي or not? We cannot use لي here. Okay, why not? Because li is used for, yes, please tell me. Li is used for relations and it is used for the body parts. Excellent. Perfect. So we say, نعم عندي قلم. I have a pen. Lots of questions. عندك قلم. Do you have a pen? If your answer is نعم, you say نعم عندي قلم. عندك دفتر. Do you have a notebook? لا ما عندي دفتر. Yes, no, I don't have a notebook. أبوك تاجر. Is your father a merchant? You say لا هو مهندس. لا هو مهندس. Now you are giving information, so you will say لا هو مهندس. Yes, he is an engineer. Now there is no need to use ma over here because ma will be used only for possession. من أين محمد? Where is Muhammad from? هو من الهندي. He is from India. ما لغته. Basically, the idea over here is basically to learn the attached pronouns and the detached pronouns. Detached pronouns like huwa we have learned already, and also we have learned. But when you want to learn about the attached pronoun, so we will say ma lughatuhu. What is his language? And you say lughatuhu al-urdiyatu. His language is Urdu. So now, who refers to which person? Or who refers to who? Who refers to Muhammad, right? من أين محمد؟ هو من الهندي. ما لغته الأردية. So again, who refers to Muhammad? Yeah, the third person. Excellent. أين أبوه? Again, refers to the third person. Where is his father? أبوه في الكويت. His father is in Kuwait. وهو طبيب شهير, and he is a famous doctor. أين أمه? Where is his mother? أمه أيضا في الكويت. His mother is also in Kuwait. So we can see أيضا means also. من أين حمزة? Where is Hamza from? And we know Hamza does not have tanween. Why it does not have tanween? Because it is a masculine name and it ends with the marbuta. Excellent. من أين حمزة? هو من الياباني. He is from Japan. ما لغته? What's his language? لغته اليابانية. He speaks Japanese language. أين أبوه? Where is his father? أبوه في الياباني. His father is in Japan. أين زينب? Where is Zainab? هي في العراق. She is in Iraq. أين زوجها? Where is her husband? Now, ha refers to Zainab. So we know that for feminine we use ha. So أين زينب? هي في العراق. وأين زوجها? زوجها or هو أيضا في العراق أو زوجها أيضا في العراق. He is also in Iraq. أزوجها مدرس? Is her husband a teacher? لا زوجها مهندس. No, her husband is an engineer. Now, let's do this exercise. That means put. Put, and this is fi'l al-amr. It's a command, and the command is always sakin. In the end, it is sakin. Fil faraghi, in the blanks. Fima, that. Yali, follow. Ad-damiri, the pronoun who and ha. So now fill in the blanks with attached pronouns who and ha. هذه البنت طالبة. This girl is a student. What should we use over here? Ismuhu or ismuha? Ismuha Zainabu. Excellent. Ismuha Zainabu. Her name is Zainab. And we know that ha refers to bintu. Ha refers to bintu. And we know that whenever we want to use attached pronoun, there should be someone that we talk about first, and then we can use the attached pronoun. We can't really use attached pronoun without a reason. So there has to be a person or there has to be a thing that we are using attached pronoun for. Muhammadun tabibun. Muhammad is a doctor. Wabnu and his son. So what will we use over here? Wabnuhu, excellent. And his son, Wabnuhu muhandisun, and his son is an engineer. هذا الرجل تاجر كبير. This man is a big merchant. اسمه, excellent. اسمه Abdullah. So basically it will be اسمه Abdullahi. His name is Abdullah. Because ismuhu is subject and Abdullah is predicate. So we will say ismuhu Abdullah. I'm used to saying Abdullah, so that's why I said with fatha. But when we know that subject is always marfu and predicate is also marfu, so we will say ismuhu Abdullahi. His name is Abdullah. Aminatu fil ghurfati wa ummu. What about Amina? We should use wa ummu ha. Excellent. Wa ummuha fil matbakhi, and her mother is in the kitchen. Okay. Aishatu tabibatun. Aisha is a doctor. Wa ukhtu, and sister. Wa ukhtuha mumarridatun, and her sister is a nurse. Very good. So ukhtuha mumarridatun, and we know that we are using ha for Aisha. Excellent. And her sister is a doctor, a nurse in fact. خرج محمد من الفصل وخرج معه زميله. Excellent. وخرج معه زميله. Perfect. خرج محمد من الفصل. Muhammad went out of the classroom. وخرج معه زميله, and his classmate left with him, or he went out of the classroom with him. So it will be زميله. Excellent. I think, yeah, we can do one more exercise. Hati. Hati is a very special verb in Arabic language, which is used for command. Generally, it is used for command. The past tense and the present tense is not used a lot. It is used for command. For example, in the Quran, we have the plural form, Hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. So for the plural, it will be Hatu. For singular masculine, we say Hati. What about singular feminine? What should we say? Singular feminine. For example, you ask your daughter, you want to ask her to bring water. So what will you say? You will say Hati alma. So you have to add ya to that. Excellent. So it will be Hati alma for the singular feminine. But if you're talking to your son, then you will say Hati alma, bring water. Yeah, it will take kasra over here, so you don't prolong it. We don't prolong it, but when we talk about the singular feminine, and then we will prolong it, and we will say Hati alma. Okay, Hati is also, it's a command, and we know that after the command, and the noun is always mansub. You remember that after the command, noun is always mansub. So Hati khamsata as'ilatin wa ajwibatin. So numbers are used, numbers from 3 to 10, inshallah. When we learn about the numbers in detail, numbers from 3 to 10, they are used as mudaf. So khamsata is mudaf, and as'ilatin wa ajwibatin is mudaf ilayh. Kal mithal al-ati. Ka is a preposition that means like. Kal mithal al-ati, like the following example. So what we have to do now, provide 5 questions and answers on the pattern of the example. A'indaka kalamun. Do you have a pen? Naam indi qalamun. Yes, I have a pen. So now you can make 5 questions and 5 answers based on the same pattern. So you say, Aindaka sa'atun. Do you have a watch? Naam indi sa'atun. Yes, I have a watch. Aindaka sayyaratun. Do you have a car? Naam indi sayyaratun. Yes, I have a car. Aindaka daftarun jadidun. Do you have a new notebook? Naam indi daftarun jadidun. Yes, I have a new notebook. And similarly, we have indaka mindilun. Do you have a handkerchief? And the answer is naam indi mindilun. Yes, I have a handkerchief. And then the last one is indaka maktabun. Do you have a desk? And the answer is naam indi maktabun. Yes, I have a desk. So the reason why we are going a little bit faster is because these are the questions and the answers that you need to write by yourselves. So I am providing you over here. But when you write it by yourselves, then you don't need to copy and paste. You have to write it by yourselves. And on the same pattern, we have one more exercise. I believe we can complete this exercise as well. So now, inshallah, when you do this exercise for the next time, you have to put the case endings by yourselves. Keep in mind the rules that I have explained. For example, hati khamsata as'ilatin wa ajwibatin kal mithali al-ati. So now you should know why we have put these case endings over here. If you don't know, I have explained in the previous example, so you need to memorize these things, and then you need to put the case endings by yourselves. عندك قلم? Do you have a pen? And now you say لا ما عندي قلم. Now you will say I don't have a pen. So in the previous lesson, in the previous exercise, I should say, we talked about yes, and here we talk about no. And we know that when we say no, we have to add ma nahiya, which is used for negation. The same questions, but you will change them into negative answers. عندك سيارة? Do you have a car? لا ما عندي سيارة. No, I don't have a car. عندك دولار? Do you have a dollar? لا ما عندي دولار. No, I don't have a dollar. عندك دفتر جديد? Do you have a new notebook? لا ما عندي دفتر جديد. No, I don't have a new notebook. عندك مسطرة? Do you have a ruler? لا ما عندي مسطرة. No, I don't have a ruler. And the last one is عندك دراجة? Do you have a bicycle? لا ما عندي دراجة. No, I don't have a notebook. So we complete our lesson over here, and inshallah, in the next lesson, we will continue with the rest of the exercises. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.